March 23, 2026, at exactly 6:49 a.m., something strange happened. $580 million flooded the oil markets in a sudden spike with no public news to explain it. Exactly 16 minutes later, Trump announced a pause on Iran strikes. Oil prices crashed 15%, and someone made a fortune. While you are paying $4.50 a gallon to fill up your truck, while 8 out of 10 Americans say gas prices are destroying their budgets, someone made $2.6 billion betting on this war. Today, I'm going to show you exactly who's getting rich while your wallet is getting empty. Let me show you something that's going to make you angry. Before the Iran war started on February 28th, gas was $2.98 a gallon. Today, the average cost per gallon has soared by more than 50% to $4.52, according to AAA. But here's the thing. In 6 states, Alaska, Hawaii, Illinois, Nevada, Oregon, and Washington, average gas prices are more than or near $5 per gallon. In California, prices have eclipsed $6, the highest in the nation. Think about this. In northern Kentucky's Kenton County, an average gallon of gas would run you $4.92 a gallon, nearly double the price it was at the start of the Iran war. You know the Ford F-150, America's most popular vehicle? It now costs over $100 just to fill the tank. $100. 8 in 10 Americans say gas prices are straining their budgets, including overwhelming majorities of Democrats, independents, and Republicans alike. That's not a political issue anymore. That's an American issue. But gas is just the beginning. Wait till I show you what's coming next. Okay, you need to understand one thing to understand this entire story. The International Energy Agency has characterized this as the largest supply disruption in the history of the global oil market. The head of the IEA called this the greatest global energy security challenge in history. History, not last year, not last decade. History. Blockades imposed during the Iran war have stalled the passage of oil tankers through the Strait of Hormuz. Around 1/5 of the world's crude oil usually travels through that strait. 20% of the world's oil, stuck, unable to move. The standoff between the US and Iran in the Strait of Hormuz has left 1,600 vessels and 20,000 seafarers stranded in the Gulf. So what happened to oil prices? Global oil prices have soared more than 50%. And here's the thing nobody tells you. The longer the flow of oil is constrained through the Strait of Hormuz, the higher prices will go, and the longer it will take to get back to normal. Even if there was a true and lasting resolution of the conflict, it will still take months to get back to what it was pre-war, if not even longer. There will still be within the industry a risk premium associated with going through that region. You heard that right. Even if the war ends tomorrow, you're still paying high prices for months. Now we get to the part that's going to make your blood boil. While you're paying $4.50 a gallon, while 80% of Americans are struggling, the world's top 100 oil and gas companies made more than $30 million an hour, $8,333 a second, in the first month of the Iran war. Let me break that down for you. Saudi Aramco, the world's largest oil exporter, reported a 25% rise in first quarter profit, posting net income of $32.5 billion for the 3 months up to March 31st. $32.5 billion. In 3 months, BP's first quarter profit more than doubled year-on-year to $3.2 billion, the highest for the British oil giant since 2023. Oil giant Shell posted bumper profit of $6.92 billion through the first quarter as the Iran war sent fossil fuel prices soaring. The total projected fossil fuel profits for 2026 for all 6 major companies stand at approximately $94 billion. Let me put this in perspective. $94 billion divided by 330 million Americans. That's $285 per person. Per person. That's money going from your pocket to their profits. But oil companies aren't the only ones winning. As the United States spends on average $1.8 billion a day paying for the war on Iran, Lockheed Martin, the largest Pentagon contractor, saw its stock price rise by nearly 40% at the beginning of March. JP Morgan's trading arm reported a record $11.6 billion in revenue in the first quarter. Across the 6 largest U.S. banks, Profits reached $47.7 billion in the first 3 months of 2026. Oil companies, banks, defense contractors, everyone is winning, except you. Okay, now we get to the part that should scare you. Remember I told you about those trades at the beginning? Let me show you what's really happening. On March 23, 2026, $580 million in oil futures flooded the market during a sudden spike roughly 16 minutes before Trump announced a pause in strikes on Iranian power plants. Similar patterns emerged on April 17th, when $760 million worth of oil futures were traded within a 2-minute span exactly 20 minutes before the announcement of Strait of Hormuz operations. The most striking example occurred on May 8, 2026, when approximately 10,000 oil futures contracts worth an estimated $920 million were opened less than an hour before media reports indicated Washington and Tehran were nearing an agreement. The Justice Department and the CFTC are probing a series of highly profitable oil market trades made just ahead of major policy announcements on the Iran war. The Justice Department and the Commodity Futures Trading Commission are looking into at least 4 trades in which the traders made a total of more than $2.6 billion betting that oil prices would drop right before they did. Congressman Richie Torres called this trading activity potentially the largest instance of insider trading in history. The largest ever, but it gets worse. On the night of February 27, 2026, approximately 150 newly created accounts on the prediction platform Polymarket placed hundreds of bets totaling over $855,000, collectively and accurately predicting that the United States would strike Iran within 24 hours. 150 new accounts, created just to bet on the war, before it was announced. And here's the kicker. Donald Trump Jr. serves as an investor advisor to both Kalshire and Polymarket prediction platforms. Professor Rasmus told RT that trades are consistently placed within minutes of Trump's announcements, calling the pattern pretty constant, with no other explanation other than inside information. Somebody in the government is telling their friends, he stated. The Trump administration has systematically dismantled much of the machinery designed to catch insider trading and white-collar fraud. The Justice Department's Public Integrity Section, created after Watergate to prosecute corrupt officials, was reduced from 36 lawyers to 2 last year and stripped of authority to file new cases. From 36 lawyers to 2. The unit created specifically to catch corrupt officials. On March 24th, the White House issued an internal memo cautioning staff against placing futures market bets tied to Iran war developments. They had to remind their own staff not to insider trade. Think about that. The people who place these trades almost certainly have to reckon with the possibility that they could be tracked, and they're just operating on the presumption that they will never be held accountable. So what does all this mean for you going forward? Economists told CBS News they expect inflation to come in hot in April and remain elevated throughout 2026. Last month, the Consumer Price Index reached 3.3% on an annual basis, the highest level since May 2024. The Personal Consumption Expenditures Price Index could hit 4% by the end of the year, double the Federal Reserve's target rate of 2%. Summer travel is also growing more expensive as airlines hike ticket prices and introduce bag fees to help offset the cost of jet fuel. While much of the economic pain so far has been concentrated in travel, economists say Americans could soon feel the strain in other parts of their lives as higher diesel prices increase the cost to transport goods, pushing up grocery costs. Best case scenario? Gas could settle closer to $3.50 a gallon by the end of the year. While that could offer some relief to motorists, it's still above the pre-war level of $2.98. You heard that right. Best case, you're still paying more than before. Look, I'm not here to tell you what to think. I'm here to show you what's happening. But here's what I want you to do. 1. Save this video. Share it. Because mainstream media isn't covering this story the way they should. 2. Pay attention to midterms. The financial strain felt by voters has the potential to significantly impact the midterm elections. Your vote matters. 3. Watch your spending. This isn't over. Plan ahead. So let me leave you with this question. Right now, as you watch this video, 6 of the biggest oil and gas giants are making almost $3,000 in profits every second. $3,000. every second. The next time you're standing at the pump, watching those numbers climb past $60, $70, $80, ask yourself, who's really paying for this war? Like this video if you want more content like this. Subscribe if you want to stay informed. And drop a comment below. Do you think anyone will ever be held accountable?